Over the weekend, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero vetoed Bill 351, calling it unconstitutional. She says the bill seeks to charge children accused of criminal sexual conduct and sentence them as adults. But the bill's co-author, Senator Frank Blas Jr., clarifies.
This piece of legislation would allow the courts its discretion, not mandatory, its discretion to be able to proceed to prosecute that individual for the crime that he committed as a minor but is now an adult.
In her veto message, the governor says these youthful offenders should be given an opportunity to change their lives. Senator Joanne Brown disagrees.
Well, in those cases, we allow the judge to make that determination. And while this is a difficult issue, and it is a difficult issue, we need to determine the standards of this community that this behavior is unacceptable, especially when these children are harmed and harmed for life.
Speaker Therese Terlahi reiterating that the bill only gives the court jurisdiction to prosecute.
The individual sentences that the governor is concerned about, she's concerned about this bill because it might allow the courts to impose lifetime sentences for someone who committed rape while he was under the age of 18. Well, that's not us. We are not sentencing. We are leaving it to the courts to sentence, and nothing in this bill mandates a court to do anything.
Senator Will Parkinson raising concern about the statute of limitations.
Somebody predated on somebody when they're 14 years old, and we discover it when they're 20. This bill does not bring justice to them because the statute of limitations would have passed. It does not solve the problem at hand. I was willing to roll the dice on unconstitutionality to put protections in place. But if it's unconstitutional, if it's potentially unconstitutional, and it doesn't even solve the problem, I'm having trouble getting behind that.
Senator Joe San Augustine says victims deserve justice regardless of when they report the crime, especially those who were too young to report when it occurred.
The statute of limitations reduces the opportunity for prosecution. That's what worries me.
In closing, Senator Blas once again asked his colleagues for their support in overriding the veto.
This is actually occurring. Before it occurs again, let's strengthen our statutes, strengthen our laws to ensure that the perpetrator gets the proper punishment and the victim sees that justice does prevail.
Ultimately, it failed to get the votes needed, with only 9 supporting, 5 opposing, and 1 excused. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.